Hey guys, it's Caitlin. I am back again, hopefully a lot less awkward than last time. So, in my first video, I talked about an experience that I had. Now, if you watched my first video, which you probably didn't because it was trash, I talked a lot about videos I wanted to make and probably the most excited about, which was my experience when I went to the New Broken Scene and had the opportunity to meet 5 Seconds of Summer. Now, they are my favorite band, basically the last couple years. I started listening to them when She Looks So Perfect was on the radio, and I was like, alright. And then they put Amnesia on the radio, and I was like, let's go, you know. And then I got their first album on my Kindle, which shows how long ago this was, and I have been obsessed with them ever since. If you don't know who they are a Australian, like, pop punk rock kind of band. There are 4 of them: Luke, Michael, Callum, and Ashton. She Looks So Perfect, Amnesia, She's Kinda Hot, and Hey Everybody are their 4 biggest songs, like, on the radio, or that, like, people mostly know. The day we found out, I was trying to help my friend win the tickets. And I had never tried to win anything off the radio before, which this was the New Broken Scene, so it was like exclusive. I don't think they sold tickets for it at all. And so it was in Atlanta. I'm from the area, and my friend was like, we need to go. We're going to call into the radio stations until we get tickets. And I did it for about 2 or 3 days. And I tried, and I helped her, and I called in, and I called like 600 times, and it did not work. That day, I eventually stopped, and she texted me, and she was like, hey, remember to call in, because I am tired of calling and not winning. I lost my patience. And that same night, my friend doesn't call me. She doesn't let me know. My dog starts barking, and I'm sitting in my living room, right? And all of a sudden, I hear footsteps running through my grass at like 11 o'clock at night, like 11:30. And it's just like, she's like, and I'm like, what is going on? Why is she freaking out? Who is this at my door right now? I don't even know. It's like midnight. Why is somebody knocking on my door? And I open it, and she runs into my living room and just screams. She's just like, I just won tickets to meet 5 Sauce. We're going to the concert, right? And she was like, we're going to the concert and we're meeting them. I lost it, like, laid on my living room floor. I didn't cry. I'm not an emotional person. I was like on Snapchat and like tweeting like, thank you. My friend won it from the Adam Bomb Show, which is a radio talk show host. I tweeted at him and he retweeted it, and I was like, oh, thanks. When I found out, it was Thursday. The concert was on October 31st. That's Saturday. I had 2 days to prepare, right? With the football game in between because I'm in marching band. So the next day, I went to school, and I was on top of the world. I'm about to meet my favorite band the next day. I knew people would get tired of me talking about it, so I didn't bring it up. So that night, at the football game, and we were like talking about it. We were like, oh my gosh, we're gonna meet them in like 24 hours from now. We're gonna be at their concert. It's gonna be great. And it was interesting. I had been to one of their concerts beforehand on the Rock Out With Their Socks Out tour. I went to that one. We had lawn seats, and it was my first concert. I've been to 2 concerts now in my entire life, and they're both 5 Sauce, which kind of shows you exactly the kind of person I am. The day we were leaving, and I had been so busy the past few days, I was not prepared. I didn't have anything to wear, and I knew, like, I couldn't wear a flannel because I was going to be meeting them. So I like completely freaked out. And this is the shirt I wore when I met them, and it has not been washed since. It's a problem. I got it from Maurice's. We lined up outside the Tabernacle, it's basically like a really old church. And we were like waiting in line. We weren't first because we got there and we were like, either way, we're going to get to meet them afterwards, so I'm not very concerned with being close. So we had our tickets. This was my ticket to the concert. And the doors opened and the lines moved really fast. We were maybe like 3/4 of the way into the line, and we got in within like 10 minutes. It was really funny because as we were like snaking our way through the little thing, there were random moments where everybody would just start like screaming for no reason, and we would all look around like, oh my gosh, are they here? Like, are they looking through a window? And of course it was just overreacting, but it was still really fun just waiting in line. Like, we were talking about it with some other people, and they were like, yeah, we're so excited, and my friend was like, yeah, we're gonna get to meet them after, we're so excited, and I was like, don't tell them that because I'm gonna feel really bad, but she did because that's her personality. So we got in, and as I said, this wasn't my first concert from them, so I kind of knew what to expect, but we didn't know what songs they were going to be playing. So as we walked in, it was maybe 2 weeks after they had released Sounds Good, Feels Good, and we were like, they're going to be playing their new songs. But as they started singing, we realized they were doing the exact same set list as they were before. If I can find the live taping of it, I will link it below. If I can't, I'm sorry, but it's on the internet somewhere. Yeah, they opened up. This was interesting because we walked through and we were just like, we were like trying to get in there because, you know, we didn't want to be super far away. But we were like running through, and the ladies at the door were like, don't run. And my friend ran up the stairs and she was like, I told you not to run. But we didn't get like stopped or anything, so it was okay. Before it started, we were like in the middle. Like, if here's Luke and if here's Michael, like Michael's side, we were probably like halfway in between Michael and Luke in that little area in the middle of the floor. But we were all like excited, you know, a room full of a bunch of fangirls who had won tickets to see them. You know, we were all really pumped. And they walked out, and there was like this just huge surge forward, and by the time the surge was done, I was 5 feet away from Michael Clifford. It happened. Literally the entire concert, I was like either staring at them like, how am I here? Like, are you real? It was just this really weird feeling. Because you always see like all the videos and like tweets and stuff, but you never seen them close up before. So that was my first experience really seeing them. And so the concert, like, it was just typical concert, you know what I mean? There was nothing really special. Ashton gave his little speech about how we're all a big family and how the safety pin is like them and then us, and then there's the music, you know, that he called himself Dad, which was pretty lit. We were getting near the end of the show. We knew because they had played Amnesia and Wrapped Around Your Finger, which Wrapped Around Your Finger is my favorite 5 Seconds of Summer song. And it was one of my favorites, but when I saw it up close, like live, up close and personal, I was like, oh my gosh. Because I really like their live performances. I feel like I like it better than their, like, you know, albums because it's always different, and they do different things in the live performances with their music than they do in the album. As I said before, we had already seen them live, and so when they got to the final three, which was, I think, Don't Stop, Good Girls, and She Looks So Perfect, and What I Like About You, we didn't see those four because we didn't know like how many more they were going to be doing, and we wanted to get to the meet and greet fast. So we left early, which I don't regret it really. We had already seen it, and to my knowledge, no one fell off the stage. But we were walking through, and there were all these people looking at us as we were walking out, like, what? You won tickets to this and you're leaving early? Are you insane? So we can hear them playing outside, and we like run through the doors of the Tabernacle, and we're the only people leaving. We didn't want to get caught in traffic. We like run out, and this lady stops, and she's like, excuse me, can I just ask, who's performing in there right now? And we were like, 5 Seconds of Summer, they're like pop rock, you know. And she was like, oh, they sound really good, and everybody in there seems to be really enjoying it. And we were like, yeah, they're amazing. So we find their car after the lady stops us and talks to us. She was really nice. And we find our parents' car, and we like get in, and we're just like, go, 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 go. Like, we don't know if there's gonna be a line to like go see them, and we want to be like kind of early because we're us. So we are like driving through the streets, you know, like in a really big hurry for no reason. Everybody was gonna meet them, but we were just like really excited. So we get to the room, Hard Rock Cafe, it was right next door, and we get in there and the people at the door, they're like, oh, what's your name? And my friend was like, my name's Olivia, I won tickets, and I won 2 tickets for my friend to come and meet them with me. And they were like, all right, here are your passes. So we get our pass, which it has blue tack on the back, so just ignore that. But it says, you know, 5 Seconds of Summer, sounds good, feels good. Saturday, October 31st, 2015, which is the day I met them. And then on the back, it just has a picture of the album cover, and there's blue tack on it, so ignore that because this was on my wall 20 minutes ago. So we're in there, and we're feeling all kinds of, like, cool with our little things. And they're playing the album over the speakers, and, like, one by one, people start showing up. And we're all just kind of, like, excited. We're all talking to one another, you know, like, this one girl in particular that I remember, and they hadn't even shown up yet, and she was already, like, so, like, just intense with how she felt about them, because she was one of the people who connected with Broken Home when it first came out, and so, like, her just having the opportunity to be there and, like, talk to Michael and, like, doing all that stuff, like, I saw her afterward, and she, like, apparently talked to him about it, and she was just, like, it was really sweet. So they were late, 20 minutes late, because they were doing an interview in between. They were supposed to show up at, I think, like, 8, and they showed up at, like, 8:30-ish, and basically, it was Halloween. They showed up in their Halloween costumes. I've been waiting 2 years to meet this band, and they show up as 5 Seconds of Sex. That was literally, they were in, like, full-on costume. And I was like, alright, whatever, I'll still get to meet them, I'll still get to talk to them a little bit, you know, like, been within 20 feet of a famous person, so I was just like, okay, it's okay, you know, this is a really unique experience. So they do, like, a little interview before with Q100, which, you know, the radio station she won them from. They answer some questions, and then they go, alright, everybody get in a line. And so everybody, like, rushes to get in their line, and you know, we waited our turn. We were being really respectful. I was, like, freaking out inside because like I said, I was a really big fan of them. And then all of a sudden we get up there, and I put my book bag down next to the thing because the people there, the security, was like, put your bag down. If we see that you have a phone, you're not going to be allowed up onto the stage with them. You're not going to be allowed to get a picture. You'll get a professional picture. You can't take, like, selfies. And then they sit there and they're like, you can say hi to them, but you can't hug them. And we're like, alright, we waited 2 years to meet this band, and we're not even allowed to, like, hug them, okay? But, as I said, I was kind of freaking nervous, but they just came off with, like, a little bit of attitude, and I understand that there's security purposes for that, and that it would, like, take longer to get through the line, so I wasn't going to complain. So, it's our turn. And we walk up onto the stage, right? This is where it starts to get really uncomfortable for me because I have really weird anxiety. And so it makes me nervous to talk to new people, let alone people that I've been listening to and watching interviews for the last year and a half. And basically we get up there, and it's like the order was Ashton, Callum, Michael, and Luke. So my friend and I were the first people to walk up. So she was in between Ashton and Callum, and I was in between Callum and Michael. So I am so nervous that I literally am just, like, looking at the floor. I can't, like, talk to them. I, like, tried to say hi, but it was just like, so I walk up there, and I, like, look up for the first time, and the first thing that I see is Callum Hood, and he's, like, staring directly at me, and I almost passed out right then and there because it was just, like, so much going on. And so it really happened pretty fast. We walked up there, and my friend was like, hi, Michael, and Michael said hi to her, and she talks about that all the time. That was really nice. And so we were, like, up there, and they were really pushing us through. Like, we just walked up there, and then we, like, got in a line, and we were all like this, right? Like, we had, like, one like this and one like this, and they were doing that. In the picture, you can see Michael's hand on my shoulder. You can see his hand on my shoulder, which I didn't see until a couple days afterward, and then I was like, what? But, yeah. So as we went to get in a line, you know, we were all really nervous and we were all like rushing up onto the stage so they could get the pictures done. And so I had this arm around Callum, and then I went like this because this is Michael right here. And I went like this, and the other two girls in line with us had came up so fast that there wasn't any more room. So literally there was like 10 seconds of me like elbowing Michael Clifford in the ribs. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like I remember this afterwards. And I was just like this moment of panic. And so he like looked down at me and was like, what are you doing? And I was like, I'm so sorry. And so in the picture you can see it's like Callum and then there's just this white arm, because I was like, I'm not gonna look like ridiculous in this picture, even though I already kind of do because it's just like my random arm. So then they were like, all right, go ahead, you guys can leave, we need you to leave now. And we were like freaking out, like I just elbowed Michael Clifford in the ribs. It was ridiculous. So we walked out, and it was her mom and my mom. My mom was driving and her mom was with us, and they were just like hanging out in Atlanta, you know, like having their time while we were having ours. And we get in the car and we're all like starving because I was too nervous to literally eat anything. Like I think I had eaten maybe like a snack that day. And so on the way back we were telling them all about the concert and like meeting them, and our parents were like mad that they were in Halloween costume because they were like, I want to see like what they actually look like. But I wasn't really like, that didn't upset me because they were still there. They were still the same people. They just looked different, you know? And that night we had like our little passes on, right? We had on our passes. And we went to the Chili's in our hometown and we had them on and we were just like getting something to eat because we were all like really, really hungry. And the lady at the table, like me and my friend were just like talking like a mile a minute, like going through all the pictures that we've taken because half of mine are blurry, but there are a few like real gems. And so we were all like going through, and there was a point where we were in the velvet room, whatever, I don't remember what they called it, the room next to the Hard Rock. And my friend was taking pictures, and there was a point where Michael literally looked directly at her phone and was just like, and so we freaked out about that. And then the waitress came over with our food, and she was like, you guys seem really excited. How was your night tonight? And we were like, this is the table. We were both like, we just met 5 Seconds of Summer, which is like our favorite band. And we were both like talking like really, really fast. And the waitress was just like, what is going on? Like, she'd never seen someone freak out so much before about a band, I guess, which is what we're there for. Next morning, we went online and we found our picture. And I just want to say one thing. For a professional photo, it was really poor quality. Like, maybe it was just because we screenshotted it, because my friend was the one who sent it to me. But it was, like, really grainy. This is the picture. We found this November 1st at 7, basically 8 a.m. Let me make sure this is in focus. This is the picture. You can see my, like, crappy little arm. That's really bad quality. I'm trying to show y'all. It was when like everybody was like tweeting out their little pictures and I was like, oh, I was having some PCD, is it called, post-concert depression, because I was like, but yeah. Overall, the concert was extremely, like the concert was amazing. Like I said, I've said this a million times, I really love them as live performers. And the meet and greet it wasn't awful, but I feel like a lot of the reason I didn't personally have an amazing time just like being up there with them is because of my anxiety and because I couldn't talk to them because I was so nervous. But other than that, it was pretty good, you know. Oh, another story. The next morning was when I woke up and realized this was a really weird thing for me, but I really loved this memory just because it was so like weirdly unique, I guess, for me. Because I couldn't make eye contact with any of them, I was like, the highest I could lift my head was like mid-stomach because I'm like short. I'm 5'1" and they're like 6, like the shortest one is like 5'11" maybe. Like head level because I couldn't do it, and even then it was like this. So Callum was wearing a sheer shirt and I saw Callum Hood's belly button. I don't know why that made me so excited when it happened, but it did. It was one of those kind of moments. Like, it shouldn't have been so amazing, but it was. It really was. It really was. Overall, I would rate the experience probably an 8 out of 10 just because I'm so awkward, but as I said, the concert was amazing. They always just get so into their music, and it's just, if you ever have an opportunity to go to one of their concerts, do it, even if it's just a lawn seat. I'm actually going to see them again in Atlanta for Sounds Live Feels Live, and I am 22 rows from the stage, which is very exciting. So I'm definitely going to film that, even if it's not like specific. I'll just post the clips of it up here because the first 2 times were amazing. I really hope the 3rd time's going to be as good. I have faith in them, you know? That is the story about the time I met 5 Seconds of Summer. I hope you enjoyed. I hope I like passed off that story well enough for somebody to like, you know, I hope it made sense when I was explaining it, because sometimes I'm not good at that. Thank you for watching. I am going to be posting again sometime eventually, because the first time the lighting was really bad because I was filming by the window, and then the second time I think my camera died, and then the 3rd time somebody kept calling me, and so I just haven't been able to sit down and really film a lot. But I hope this was good in the meantime. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Hopefully I will win tickets to this concert I'm trying to win, because that's in 2 days, so I will film that if I win tickets to that. And yeah, so if you enjoyed, you know, be sure to like and leave a comment on things you want to see, or like if you want more specifics on it, I can like go specifically into like just the concert or just the meet and greet if you want, because I feel like there's a lot more I could go into. Let me know what you guys want to see. See you guys next time. Thanks for watching.